So what do you do when there's a passionate disagreement and it's affecting your business? Now, if you are the leader, it is your responsibility to handle it. So whether you have an opinion or your team members have an opinion or your clients have an opinion, you better be ready to navigate some of these passionate disagreements. Now, it is entirely possible that you and everyone who works for you and maybe works with you totally agrees with your exact opinion. Next question is, do all of your clients agree? Do all of your prospects agree? Are these issues going to come up? Now, a lot of my colleagues are using the solution is we just don't talk about that. And in some cases, their silence has been deafening. The degree to which they're just trying to avoid even bringing up the issue, almost pretending it doesn't even exist, that nobody's having any conflict over it, can be deafening. And that people will have opinions about our silence. So here's one of the questions though. How do we navigate these conversations when there is very likely going to be a passionate disagreement? How do we talk about the things if maybe we have a passionate disagreement? One of the things I teach people how to do is this format, framework, conversation, change. This is the very simplistic approach in how we come to any issues. To start off with, what is your framework? Now I'm going to skip through a couple of the pieces of this, and the framework that I want to share with you just very, very quickly is hero, villain, victim. I've got a lightning talk on it. I've got a masterclass talk on it. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but the hero is the one who makes it better. Villain is the one who makes it worse. The victim is the one for whom it is made worse. The idea when we're having this conversation is just assume when you're having the conversations that people want it better. And rather than go on the offense, just assume people want it better. Don't assume people intentionally want it worse. Even if you think they're advocating for something that is worse, assume that they actually don't want it worse, or they wouldn't want to admit that they want it worse and that they would say they want it better. Conversation to communication, there's a path there. Conversation is about connection. We want to connect first. Communication is about a transfer of ideas. So it's connect first, idea transfer second. Understand, define, be understood. You want to ask questions, see where they are. Ask about their thoughts, ask about their opinions. And even if you passionately disagree, you can still get clarifying questions. Let someone be heard. Define your terms. At the moment I'm recording this, one of the big terms going around is defund the police. Some people, honestly, when they say that, what they mean is the complete elimination of all law enforcement. And so very often I hear people arguing against defunding the police. That's the one they're arguing against. But what if that's not what someone means? Because defund the police at its lightest version can just mean stop increasing the budget for law enforcement and let's put some of that money someplace else. Or let's stop expecting police officers to do everything and let's have specialists in mental health, like we have the paramedics, we have mental health specialists, and have people who are better equipped to handle these particular situations so that we're not sending the police in because then that has them run more tense, and then occasionally things bubble over the way we keep on seeing again and again, and let them focus on a more limited scope. Okay, well, probably more of us can agree with that than could agree with just abolishing the police force. So you want to define your terms, understand what they mean. So before we jump in and we start fighting because we're arguing against our definition of their word, let's find out what their words are, and then seek to be understood. And then in the framework here, or in the change sequence, there's a path here. And just laying out quickly what that path is, and then within the change relationship, there's pieces in there, so that these people that we're going to have to work with, we're going to have all of these conversations. And sometimes we'll have team members that passionately disagree with us. Sometimes we'll have clients who passionately disagree with us. Sometimes we'll have team members that passionately disagree with one another. Sometimes we'll have team members that passionately disagree with our clients. And are we ready for that? Now, I teach this stuff. Now, I wish I had taught it to all of you before any of this stuff happened, because I've been seeing the way we've been fighting over COVID, and that stuff with so many lives at stake, so many people being sick at stake, so many of our elderly at stake, there was a lot of intensity in some of those arguments. And now we added, because the other thing hasn't gone away, we have now added the race issue. So now we have both a disease and a race. So it's not even that we just shifted completely from one to the other because we resolved one. Now we've gone into another one. Do you figure there's probably going to be some issues, some differences of opinion, some potential conflicts, some things that could rip at a business? Absolutely. And if you are the leader, you are responsible for being able to have these conversations. If you are the leader, you are responsible for being able to teach these conversations. And even if you're not the leader, if you are an influencer, if you have influence, if you persuade, if you have these conversations, I believe still it is important for you to know how to do this. So I would love to teach you. This is part of what I do. You can go to my website and check out the lightning talk. It'll break this out for you in a little more detail, show you where it's going. You can go in and watch the master class, and that'll unpack this for you a bit more so that you're ready. Too often, as a lawyer, I have to tell you, people have been ill-equipped for some of the most intense conversations that have come up, and because they weren't ready, they self-destructed their own business. Their employees self-destructed the business, blew out a top client. So you need to be ready for this kind of thing. I wish what I taught wasn't so necessary, and I wish it wasn't so urgent. But please go check it out. Learn how to do this. It is important. Before it's too late, before there's a problem, the best time to learn this stuff is before there's a problem. Please get this stuff down. I don't like conflict, even though I'm trained as both a lawyer and a martial arts grandmaster. If we can resolve things and solve problems and do so in a collaborative way, to me, that is the ultimate. Conflict is the last resort, not the first resort. If you want to learn how to do that, go check out my website, scottwith1t.com, SCOTWITH, the number one, the letter T.com. And I've got a recorded seminar for you there. There's a 2-minute introduction. Check that out. It'll tell you basically what I just told you. And if that looks worthwhile and you already see that it is, go follow the masterclass. Get some of this stuff down. Be ready for it before it happens. Because more and more now, these things are happening. And in some cases, the existence of a business can be at stake. I don't want you to get blindsided by this kind of thing. Please go learn it. Be ready for it. Be ready to have connecting conversations that solve problems rather than fight. Please. This is Scott Conway, Grandmaster Scott with 1T. Go check it out.